Let's get this shit poppin'.
Woo, 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 woo.
Okay,
woo.
welcome everybody to the Aqua Society Gaming Podcast, episode 1. This is our first official episode. We're very excited to be kicking off this podcast. My name is Sal Bulzoni, aka TheMightyMander. This is my good friend, co-host Dimitri Ashby, aka Truth the Equalizer.
Yeah.
And this is the Aqua Society Gaming Podcast.
Let's go.
Our little appreciation station. I've been using that phrase a lot. But
I like it.
Yeah, right? For all things gaming culture, geek news, all that stuff. So, to kick off this inaugural episode of the Aqua Society Gaming Podcast, we're going to kick it off with the Mander Morning Show. And it's a very exciting Mander Morning Show. Good timing for the first episode of this podcast because E3 is this week. Not sure when this is coming out. It'll be coming out soon. Yeah. E3 will still be fresh on the minds.
Oh, yeah.
But E3 is my favorite time of year, in terms of gaming, at least.
It's the most wonderful time.
Yeah, there you go. It is like, dude, it's like fucking, it's like
gamers' Christmas.
Yes, it really is.
Because we've been waiting all year, and whether we've been naughty or nice, these announcements are absolutely insane.
And you know what? It's honestly, it might even be better hearing them announced than when they actually come out and some of them inevitably end up disappointing us.
Oh yeah, definitely. Right? Because like the hype, you're like, oh man, you're like, what is this guy planning? What are these guys planning? What's gonna happen?
Right? You're like, oh god, this game looks so sick. I can do anything I want.
You know what I mean? So you never. It's always just like exciting. You know, it is, man.
For the people who can't actually get to E3, they did open up E3 to the public for the first time ever this year.
And I think it went really well.
Yeah, I think so. I heard that crowding was a big issue. Like, it was super, super cramped in the LA Convention Center. Uh-huh. But, I mean, that's like, you get that you get that at any convention, You know what
I mean? Definitely.
But, so maybe within the next couple of years, we might be able to get to E3.
Yeah, maybe we'll have our own little spot where people can come up to us. And
that'd be so sick.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
dream, man.
Meet and greets for our 4 fans that we'll have by that point.
That would be hilarious.
That would be so sick.
My mom will definitely be one of those 4 fans, too. So.
Yeah, mine, too.
So 2 fans.
Yep. But yeah, for people who can't actually get there, the most exciting part of the event is probably the press events that kick off the entire event. Mm-hmm. Used to be, I'm not exactly sure when, 2 years ago Bethesda started doing it. You got Bethesda, you got Ubisoft, you got EA, the 2 biggest, pretty much the biggest developers and publishers in gaming today.
Definitely.
And then you've got the 3 major console players. You've got Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. Microsoft goes first, Sony goes the following day, and Nintendo has actually not held a live press conference in a few years now. Oh. They started doing their Nintendo Direct, video presentations that they'll just upload to YouTube or something like that.
Okay, I mean, honestly, I feel like Nintendo doesn't really need to sit there with suit and ties talking about
they really don't need a press. They don't really don't need a live press event.
There's really you're going there to see Mario stuff. That's what, let's be honest.
Mario, Zelda, Metroid, that kind of thing.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they don't really why sit down.
Speaking of Metroid, there was a couple big announcements for Metroid this year.
I know, yeah. I remember you were telling me about it. I was really actually surprised that they
Me too. I think everybody was surprised, dude. Everybody was surprised. I don't think anybody expected Metroid Prime 4.
Definitely.
But we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. I personally think that the best press event this year, and I think for the past couple years, I mean, Bethesda killed it when they announced Fallout 4.
Oh, yeah.
That was 2 years ago. But Sony killed it this year.
Definitely.
Sony killed it this year.
Oh, yeah.
So many big announcements. A Shadow of the Colossus remake. More footage from games that they announced last year, like the new God of War and Days Gone, that zombie survival, story-driven game,
definitely.
Which I'm very excited about. The new God of War looks incredible.
Yeah,
Kratos is a fucking Viking, dude. You can't beat that. That's so badass. It was badass enough when he was Greek, when he was in Greek mythology. But now he's a fucking Viking, dude.
Viking Kratos.
Oh my God.
This man is just moving through the times. Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yeah, they showed that off at. I missed most of Ubisoft's press conference, so I didn't see it there. But I did see the gameplay that they showed off at Microsoft's press briefing, and I'm in. Yeah, why not? With Assassin's Creed Origins, I'm not the hugest Assassin's Creed fan. I think it is one of the more overrated franchises in gaming today. I think it has its gems. I personally loved Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people loved Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag.
Nah, Brotherhood was the best Assassin's Creed.
Brotherhood was a really good one.
The online play to Brotherhood was amazing. And
it was severely underrated.
It was, I know, and honestly, it was so upsetting that more people didn't flock to it because, man, when I tell you that was probably one of the most unique online experiences I personally have had, where I could play with my friends and like you never knew who was gonna win because like, it was always just so crazy. So that was a great thing, and I hope when they do this Origins multiplayer, I hope they take notes from what they did with Brotherhood because they tried to make him a lot more complex as the games evolve.
There is multiplayer in Origins?
I think, I don't know. I hope there is.
Yeah, because I know they haven't done multiplayer in a while. They did it for...
Yeah, I wonder why. Because
they did it for Brotherhood, and then they did something similar in Revelations.
And it tanked. It tanked. Like,
it just didn't... I mean, Revelations as a game tanked.
Yeah,
so... That wasn't a very good game.
So who knows?
At least in my opinion. If you like it, that's fine. We're not here to tell you what to like. But yeah, it wasn't my favorite game.
No, honestly, I really did kind of... That's the thing with Assassin's Creed, which is why I'm really interested with Origins because, like...
They took a year off.
I played the first one. I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
I played the second one. I was like, all right, this is some good stuff right here.
Yeah, right?
I played the third one. I was like, okay. And I played the fourth one. I'm like, all right, all right. You lost me.
Like, what is this pirate shit?
Yeah, you're losing me. So, I mean, this one... And I mean, honestly, and it's no disrespect to Assassin's Creed because I love the story, I love the writing, I think it's awesome, but gameplay wise, I mean, compared to like a little
clunky,
especially compared to like Batman and those other kind of single player roam around fighter games, Assassin's Creed definitely wouldn't be one of my top ones.
Yeah, so a little clunky.
Excited to see what they bring with Origins. Hopefully that year off help them instead of hurt them. Mm-hmm. So don't overthink it because they're definitely doing good over there.
Yeah. So that was one of the big announcements at Ubisoft. The other huge announcement at Ubisoft was for a game, a sequel to a game, or rather, I think it's a prequel to Beyond Good and Evil, which is like a cult classic that was on like around the PS2 era.
Okay.
And everybody was super into that game. I personally have never played it, but from what I've seen, it looks like a pretty interesting game.
Okay.
But everybody was like, you gotta have a sequel. Like, where's the sequel? We need it. And like, people were like that for about 10 years.
Oh,
and
wow.
I think about 2012 or thereabouts, they played a cinematic trailer that was like a teaser for Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Okay.
But then, there was never an announcement. There was never an official announcement made for the game. So everybody just assumed that it was just one of those games that had fallen off the wagon and into development hell where it would never return.
Yeah.
But just like another big announcement from I think maybe 2 years ago, The Last Guardian, it has been pulled out from the depths of gaming hell and brought back to life.
Okay.
And it's an announcement that no one expected. Uh-huh. Everybody's super excited about.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm down. I love it when they pull those announcements at E3 because it's just such a crowd pleaser. Everybody's so excited.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
it's just one of those games where you're like, son, move over. Your dad's playing for the rest of the day. You know what I mean? It's just one of those games where, when kids, the older generation growing up, they played it and they were like, this game was amazing. And, they probably didn't think anything of it. Then they see it. Yeah. And they're like, whoa, like, okay, we got to get back on this. So it brings back a lot of good nostalgic memories at the same time,
Totally.
It lets the younger generation like us, we're like, all right, because me personally, it's like I have no idea what this is, but, it looks cool, so let me just stop it.
The trailer that they showed, it wasn't no gameplay. It was a cinematic trailer, but it was pretty interesting, right?
Definitely.
Like it was like these anthropomorphic pigs and monkeys and all this crazy futuristic sci-fi shit. Looks like a lot of fun. But, that was one of the big announcements. Microsoft had a few pretty big announcements this year.
Word.
Chief among which was the Xbox One X, formerly known as Project Scorpio.
Oh, yeah. When Xbox, so here's my thing. When Xbox, for those of you guys who are going to get to know us, I'm an Xbox guy. You want to find me on Xbox.
Me too. Mostly because of the social thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think in terms of, like just pure, like console versus console, I think the PS4 edges it out, honestly. Mm-hmm. But as a social experience, because most of my friends flock to Xbox.
I would say PS4 used to edge it out. We'll talk about that later because I feel like PS4 used to have that upper hand until E3.
Yeah, right.
And I'll
Xbox
tell you
One
exactly
X might put Microsoft over the edge.
You know what I mean? So I remember when they said Xbox is working on Project Scorpio blah 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 months ago, way before E3, and I was like, oh, like, is it just gonna be like an Xbox One, but it's something else, like Xbox One with a little, this, or Xbox One with a little graphic enhancer. This Xbox One X that they released is like amazing.
It sounds amazing, yeah.
And hopefully, I don't know if you remember when the 360 came out and there were so many issues with it, and you had to bring it back. If this thing gets released...
I went through like 4 or 5 different Xbox 360s during my time with the system.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Red Ring of Death was a plague.
Exactly.
Dude.
And you can't forget, the classic PlayStation 2. If it passes, the intro screen, your PlayStation's good. But if it doesn't, you're not playing the game. So, I mean, there's a whole lot that goes into that. But I'm telling you, man, if this Xbox One X releases with no bugs, no problems, no like major problems that have to like manufacturing problems,
system breaking issues,
this thing could be like... It could be it could trump the, Xbox, PlayStation 4, because for years, and this is since PlayStation 3, this goes back to PS3 versus 360. Everybody was like, well, PS3 got the graphics, man.
Yeah.
PS3 got the Man, the amount of power that this Xbox One X has, I never thought I'd see on a console in my life.
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you think?
I figured we'd see it eventually, but I never thought it would catch so close. It's probably not, like, it's obviously not going to be ahead of a top-of-the-line PC.
Definitely.
Because, like, you're never going to be able to get something like that at a consumer-friendly price for a console.
And I think they know that.
Oh, totally.
Definitely.
And so that's why they sort of compromised it the way they did, ended up with the figures that they have. I think it's like 6 teraflops or whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah.
But it just means a butt ton of processing power, basically, is what that means.
Like,
so the graphics are going to be smooth. They're going to be 4K, 60 frames per second. I'm going to have to get myself a 4K monitor now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was just going to say, the thing is, too, like, you upgrade your TVs. I remember when I got the Xbox One, my TV still took the the red, white, and yellow things. Yeah, so I had to buy a new TV when I bought the Xbox One because it didn't have the 3, I was like, what is this?
$1,000 console.
I had a brand new Xbox One just sitting in my room, and I'm like, I need a new TV now. I'm like, I can't play with the TV that I have. So upgrade your TVs with your consoles, everyone. It's a must nowadays, especially if you want like the full gaming experience. You might as well just cop a 4K TV with a game that has 4K processing. You know what I mean? It's like math, simple math.
But the Xbox One X launches November 7th, I believe. At a price point of $499, which I thought it was going to be way more expensive than that.
Yeah.
So like people are like, oh, it's not competitive with the PS4 Pro. It's like, who the fuck cares? It's more powerful than the PS4 Pro.
Way more.
So obviously it's going to have a higher price point, and like that's fine. Like,
and do you know what I love? I loved how Xbox was like, oh, you know what? They got VR. Let's get VR. They were like, you know what? Keep your VR. Keep all that. We're going to make a better console.
We're going to make the most powerful gaming machine that you've ever seen on a console.
And it's like, you guys keep playing with your little VRs over there. We're going to go over here and keep focusing on what we want to. And that's core gaming quality for core gamers. And that used to be their old model back with the Xbox. So it's like... Yeah, it's crazy. I wish all they needed to do was bring that back. That would have been the icing on the cake right there. That would have been the sprinkles.
Bring what back? The original Xbox?
The motto. Like the core gaming quality for core gamers.
Because in a way, they did bring back the original Xbox this year at E3. They announced a new backwards compatibility program. In addition to Xbox 360 games, they're now going to be starting to incorporate original Xbox games on the Xbox One, right? Another one of those announcements that no one expected, but everybody, like, I was watching the presser, and I could just see in the silhouette of the screen, just everybody stood up and started cheering.
Yeah.
When the original Xbox logo popped up on screen, and I'm just like, that is awesome.
You know what I mean? And it's crazy because, like, those kind of people... Nowadays, like, people appreciate the retros and the OGs. You know what I mean?
Man, nostalgia is a powerful force this day.
You know what I mean? And like,
only 90s kids will remember.
You know what I'm saying? And you see it. You see people like when Sony's it's like, you know what, we're gonna release not Sony, when Nintendo's like, you know, we're gonna release a Sega Genesis for like limited time, you know, get copy Sega, and people buy it. People are like, oh, what? Like Sega Genesis? I'm in. You know what I mean?
The NES Classic or whatever?
Yes, and the NES and all those things. People love the classics. So the fact that Xbox is like, you know what, since we're gonna go like backwards, make everything backwards compatible, let's go all the way back to the OG. People will play. You will see people playing Halo CE. Like, I've never played that Halo, but you'll see people doing it because when they did the remastered for the 360, everyone was like, what? Dude. Remastered?
Project Gotham Racing gonna make a comeback.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely. Like all these old school classic games, you might see some old servers come back to life because there's definitely
Maybe.
like a population.
Shit, imagine if they... I mean, I know they don't need to do anything with Halo because they have the Master Chief Collection, but imagine if they resurrected the Halo 2 servers.
I'm telling you,
Like,
I would go back. I was like a level 48. I need it. I never got my Black Moon. I need my Black Moon, which is like the highest level you can get in.
Is that like
Halo.
50 or something like that?
Yeah, after. So, yeah, I think that was amazing. Shout out to Xbox for doing that, man. I regret selling every single old Xbox like classic game that I had because now it's just like all those people that sell back those games to GameStop and get like 3 pennies are probably like, shit, man, I should have just kept it. You know,
whoever saved their collections, they're probably like, oh, cha-ching, man.
Yeah,
like,
they're like, oh, it's about time. So, I mean, definitely a lot of heartbreaks, but definitely a lot of heart makes too. So
yeah, man, I'm very excited for that. Very excited for the Xbox One X.
Speaking of excited, give me like your top 5.
Okay,
top five
E3
moments
of E3 2017. Number 1 is probably Anthem, just because Anthem is new. BioWare's new IP. BioWare's the company that brought us Mass Effect, Dragon Age, Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. Mm-hmm. So I'm super excited for Anthem, just because, one, because of the gameplay that they showed off, it looked really incredible.
Definitely.
But also, like, I'm just such a huge BioWare fanboy, and
so,
like
what's
Mass
Anthem?
Effect. Anthem, okay, it's hard to explain because it looks like a sort of futuristic sci-fi setting, but not in a sort of idyllic spacefaring way that Mass Effect is. It looks more like an untamed wilderness kind of thing, you know, with like futuristic, like, you know, those mech suits. Yeah. You're flying around in mech suits, like that's the main way of traversal. That's the main like customization of the game. Mm-hmm. You customize your mech suits and its different abilities. But it's like, it almost looks like the population centers of the game where the demo started, the E3 the gameplay demo looked like a almost dystopian. Okay. You know, like a futuristic, almost post-apocalyptic. Uh-huh. And once you get outside of there, it's like the untamed wilderness. You know, like you're fighting not only enemy factions, I'm assuming robots, but also huge, crazy dinosaur-looking animals.
Okay.
So
word. Now that sounds awesome.
Yeah, and playable in co-op, which is something that Mass Effect was not. I heard there's also going to be player versus player multiplayer, so that's got me very excited. It looks like they're putting a lot more like it looks like they're putting all of their cards into Anthem, and sort of slowly petering off of Mass Effect Andromeda, which is sad, you know, for me as a fanboy. But I kind of understand because I heard that there was some development issues with that game, and the final product was pretty disappointing. And so they don't, rather than try and salvage something that was negatively received, they're just going to go all in on the next project. You know? Which I appreciate. My next top 5 of E3 2017. That Spider-Man game looks so sick.
Oh yeah,
like,
I've seen.
Yeah,
I saw the trailer and I saw a little bit of the gameplay. And me personally, I think it looks really good. I think it's a well put together game. You know, I personally, I played almost all of Spider-Man, so it's kind of like, all right, you know, I put that game, in my opinion, in the Assassin's Creed category, where I'm like, great game, but you know, like, show me something, let me see, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I kind of want to see what it looks like on the. I'll probably cop, you know me, I'll probably pick it up, but I really
it's PS4 exclusive, unfortunately.
Oh, never mind.
But I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna pick it up.
You're gonna pick it up,
channel, yeah.
And I'm gonna watch it when you upload it.
Hell yeah.
So that's gonna be pretty cool.
Okay, so yeah, that Spider-Man game looks really, really cool. Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh yeah,
I'm so down for a new Super Mario game. Like, I was a late adopter of Nintendo. I didn't acquire a Nintendo system. I didn't have a 64. Didn't have a GameCube. I got a Wii. Mm-hmm. Played a little bit of Super Mario Galaxy, but it wasn't until I really started getting into the YouTube space and seeing everybody else's appreciation for Nintendo that I really started to adopt an appreciation for Nintendo.
Yeah. And
then I went back and played. I really played and really tried to appreciate Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy, and I'm like, okay, these are solid platformers. They are just classics.
Definitely.
Right? And Super Mario Odyssey looks like a return to form for that because the Wii U notoriously was lacking a main series Super Mario game.
Definitely.
It had Super Mario 3D World, but Super Mario 3D World was kind of a half-baked Mario title.
Yeah,
you know? Like, it was a great game.
And it wasn't so much later where they're like, oh, well, we just redid the Super Mario U series, so play that. And then it's like, oh, people were like, yeah.
It's like, give us a 3D Mario game.
And then they were like, oh, well, here's Super Mario U with Luigi now, so now you can play the world. And they were like, so I mean, this right here, this is probably like, hey, this is what you guys been waiting for. So.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, and hopefully it does turn out to be that. My next one is Cuphead, and Cuphead has been at E3 for like 3 or 4 years now at this point. Mm-hmm. Each time they show us a little bit more, just a little tiny bit more. They keep delaying it, keep saying like, we're still working on it, we swear. You just gotta wait a little bit longer. And you know what? If there's any game that I was ever willing to wait for, it's definitely fucking Cuphead. Because like, Cuphead just looks like, hopefully it lives up to the expectation. But Cuphead looks like one of the most inventive, unique 2D platformers that I have ever seen.
The classic cartoon.
You know, it looks like a bullet hell, Mega Man style action platformer, but in the style of a 1930s cartoon. Which is like crazy. Some old Steamboat Willie type stuff. Yeah. And it just
Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, man. Have you ever seen that original?
I haven't, but that name is fire. So yeah, I'm about to start calling Will that at work. Steamboat Willie. That is awesome.
But yeah, Cuphead, I'm so excited for that game, and I hope it lives up to the expectation. I can't imagine that it wouldn't be, but we'll see. And my fifth top of E3 2017 is A Way Out. Okay. Which is
that the prison one?
Yeah, it's the prison.
Yeah, dude,
the Prison
that
Break
game.
Co-op title showed off at E3's press conference. And made by the same company who made the indie title Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which I've never played. Heard was well received. Okay. Critically well received, and fans love it. So, but basically, A Way Out is a co-op exclusive, meaning that you can only play it in co-op. I think you can play it online, but they say they encourage you to play it same room, on the couch, with a friend. So that, to me, like, as soon as I saw that I'm like, amazing. Dude, perfect for a Let's Play.
That's amazing.
So, like, I can't wait for that. And it just looks like, you know, a unique narrative experience, Prison Break narrative. I'm down. So, like, I can't wait until that game comes out and we get to play it on the channel.
So my thing is, like, that to me, I appreciate that so much because just the way that the world is heading, all you see is, you know, online play. You're in a room by yourself.
Nice to see some appreciation for couch co-op,
exactly.
Right?
The classic, you know, oh, you're in your mom's basement playing video games. That is, you know, what gaming has come to. And it's not a bad thing because it's cool that, you know, you can be in your mom's basement and play the world, technically. That's, like, amazing. But
yeah, man, some of my best friends, longest lasting friends, I've met and have not met in person.
That's what I'm saying. Right? And that's like the generation that, you know, we're in. You know, I have the same thing, dude. Like some of my friends that I've known since I was like 12 years old, I met, you know, in a on Halo 3, you know, Guardians, or Halo 3, I met them at Turf or somewhere like that. Yeah. Actually, Halo 2. That's Halo 2, man. But anyway, I digress. The fact that people are like, you know what? This game right here is when you're playing with a friend in a room. You know, this is where the best experience comes in. I think that is awesome. And hopefully that doesn't mean that the online play is lackluster. That hopefully I feel like that just means that, like, when you're in a room with someone, it's just it's like a bonding thing. I feel like that's a game where it's like,
I feel like even if you do play online, I feel like the only thing is communication would be key.
Exactly,
right?
And that's the thing where I'm like, I feel like it'd be cool because it's like I could probably play this on extreme with my buddy, and I can also play this on like casual with my girlfriend, and we can all still have like a great time. Mm-hmm. So that's like
break out of prison with your girlfriend.
You know what I'm saying? I think that co-op. I feel like that would be awesome, and I feel like they need more games like that. I've never heard of a game like this before.
So exclusively co-op? Yeah, no, me neither.
Never in my life.
I've heard of games that are better with co-op, right?
You know,
and
exactly.
when you're not in co-op, like you have an AI companion or something like that.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, Gears of War comes to mind.
Perfect.
You've always got two AI companions. You can play co-op, but
exactly. So this
game, it's like you can see it's a split screen. One person's controlling one guy, the other person's controlling the other guy, and like it's built around that. Like one person could be playing a game while the other person's in a cutscene.
Exactly, you know? Which is cool. You know what I mean?
And you've got to you've got to intervene in the situation. Like say if someone's like got a gun to your head or something like that, your buddy's got to save you or something.
You know what I'm saying? And that's I was thinking the same thing. Like, you know, you're in the lunchroom and your friend like drops like a shank, because you got to kill this guy so you can get moved to solitary confinement so your buddy can get sent. Like, I feel like that stuff will be so your buddy can go on the outside and like I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm excited.
Just speculating, but yeah, that all seems like it would be cool. A lot of fun.
And so, is that your 5?
That's my 5.
So, for my 5, I'll go backwards from 5 to 1. So, for 5, I'll just have to say Cuphead. Just because, like, I'm really excited about Cuphead. And, like, that's no thing. I feel like I just waited too long. Yeah. And that's perfectly fine.
Like, we've waited so long. That's the thing. Oh, that's the thing that set this year apart from other years is they finally announced a release date for Cuphead.
I was just going to say September that. And that's why it was my 5. Yeah. They put a release date. So, I'm like, you know what? I'll take that. for the Xbox One X, just because like I'm so glad that they're like, you know what, we're gonna kick PS3 in the mouth and we're gonna put so much graphics to this that we're gonna force them to do. I like that. I'm a huge fan of that. 3 is actually gonna surprise you probably. It's Sonic Forces is my number 3.
Okay.
And Sonic Forces is my number 3 just because I feel like Sonic is so underappreciated in Nintendo, and it's such like
he's kind of the butt of a joke.
Exactly,
these days, right?
and it's so unfortunate because I feel like Sonic, like the character, the world, and the development is so good, but he gets no love compared to Mario. And it's what do you expect? You're not gonna compete with Mario. I get that.
Yeah, right.
But like
Mario is Disney level.
You know what
right?
I'm saying? Exactly. He's the Disneyland of like
he's a cultural institution.
You know, and that's perfectly fine. You know. I just really wish that they invested more time into Sonic. So it's good to know they got 2 Sonic games coming out. So I'm really excited. Hopefully, you know, they keep building with the franchise and they keep, you know, putting that Mario effort into Sonic, and we get something that, you know, we really want to see. So
I've seen some gameplay for Sonic Forces, and it actually looks pretty solid. Like, the platforming looks pretty solid. Looks like action-packed. Saw a little bit of the boss fight gameplay. That looks pretty cool.
And I love it because it has the 2D experience, but as you're playing, you get
like
these
3D hybrid platform.
That is awesome. So, like, I'm really excited about that. Hopefully, you know, it doesn't flop, because I also feel like that game has a huge flop potential. I'm not even going to lie.
Absolutely.
I feel like it does, and it might, but who knows? I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, this could be the one, man.
Yeah.
This could be the one. No. I think, is this coinciding with Sonic's anniversary? Is it coming out this year?
I'm not sure. We have to.
It's either this year or next year. That'll coincide pretty closely with the 25th anniversary of Sonic. So maybe that's the lucky year.
Maybe,
you know?
yeah. Hey, that's how it goes. Number 2, Anthem. We already talked about it. You know, I don't think any more needs to be said about it. Really excited for Anthem. I'm not gonna lie. Fully customizable suits, like free world almost suits. In a sense, like that.
Hell yeah.
I feel like that means fully customizable moveset, and I love stuff like that. So that's gonna be cool. And number 1 is actually a huge childhood favorite of mine, and it's Crash Bandicoot. Yeah. I am so hyped for Crash Bandicoot, and I know I won't be able to play it. Is it a PlayStation exclusive?
It is a PlayStation exclusive, but you know I'm going to bring the PS4 through, and we're going to play that shit on the channel immediately.
I am so excited, man. Crash Bandicoot was a childhood, like, memory. The nostalgia was so real. It's almost like I wouldn't have felt any better unless they brought back that and, like, a Spiral. Then E3 would have been perfect, because, like, I could go for a remastered Spiral. I'm not going to lie.
I feel like it would have taken a little bit of the thunder away from Crash Bandicoot if they announced it this year, but who knows? Depending on the success of the Crash Insane trilogy, which comes out at the end of this month, it comes out June 30th, that could open up the potential for remastered trilogies of all types from all different, like they could remaster the Ratchet and Clank games, they could remaster the Jak and Daxter games, the Spyro games.
And if that happens, I might have to jump back to PlayStation, because that's all my childhood. Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank. We're gonna talk about Ratchet and Clank. I can't wait till we get to
dude. I'm gonna have to pick that game up. We can play that on the channel.
That game is just the
new Ratchet and Clank. I heard that game is really good.
That game's amazing. So I cannot wait for that. Jak and Daxter was awesome. I love the free world adventure gameplay. That was bomb. So that was awesome. But yeah, that was my E3.
That's your E3 number 1?
Heck yeah.
Crash Bandicoot. All right, well, that was a big, giant, fat Mander morning show that we had for you on the first episode.
Fat one right there, just hot. You ain't flushing that down the toilet. You gotta plunge that back.
Oh, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, jeez. Thank you for that mental image. That's lovely. But okay, moving on to the Classic Cameo. This is our appreciation station for a classic game, show, or movie that has a particular relevance to us this week. And this week it is a PS2 Classic, an underrated gem of a game that we're the only 2 people, you, me, and this other kid who's like a local actor that I know, who was like really into my YouTube channel. We were talking about this game. That's Jet Li Rise to Honor.
Woo! Oh, yes, man.
Dude, Jet Li Rise to Honor. This is such a weird little anomaly of a game, because you don't see many games that have like the like an actor attached to them, like a real world actor, and if they are, then it's just like, featuring the voice talents of this person.
Exactly.
It's not like this game is literally a Jet Li kung fu movie in a video game form.
Oh yeah.
Right?
So the game came out in 2004, and it really didn't get a lot of good ratings overall.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yes. IGN gave it a 5.8 out of 10.
Really?
Gamefly gave it a 7.2 out of 10.
Okay.
So this game, Gamefly, I feel like saw probably what we saw in a sense.
Yeah.
IGN was like, nah. So the thing is basically...
IGN's probably like, why am I not mashing square to attack?
Exactly.
This is too complicated.
Exactly. So
sorry, I'm not trying to shit on IGN. It's fine.
But for those
we still love you guys.
Yeah. For those of you, sometimes. For those of
Yeah.
you guys, honestly, I appreciate IGN because they gave it justice a 9.8 out of 10. And
There you go.
think that, there was no better... But we'll get into that later. Anyway, we're going to talk about Jet Li. This is Jet Li's moment of shine right now. So, Jet Li Rise to Honor, again, came out in 2004 for the PlayStation 2. And basically, it was one of those games where you are Jet Li and you start out in the city... And you're basically, I forgot the whole context of why you're fighting.
Okay, I remember. I'm very familiar with the plot of this game. Basically, you start out, and Jet Li's character, Kit Yoon, is his name.
Kit.
And he's a cop, right?
Yep,
He's a Hong Kong police officer.
Yeah.
And, there's like some crime syndication going down, some shady stuff.
Yeah.
And there's like a personal story involving a letter. Mm-hmm. And that's that letter was given to I think it was from Kit Yoon's father, who was also a cop, and Kit's boss. Kit's boss, spoiler, gets shot, and so you have to go to you as Kit have to go to America and find your boss's daughter and give her the letter, and so it takes you from Hong Kong to San Francisco and then back to Hong Kong.
Okay,
so it's a little bit of a globetrotting adventure. I'd imagine, I'm not sure if the San Francisco part takes up half of the game, but the first part of the game in Hong Kong, it's all in Chinese.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I remember that, and I was going to say this could be one of the reasons why so many people were probably...
turned off of it because
you're reading...
Just like American audiences aren't apt to watch a Chinese kung fu movie.
Because in the one thing that always happens are the translations. They're they're moving their mouth for 15 seconds, but you hear let's go. And it's okay, it's all right, we understand. But I feel like that is so relatable to the culture. You know what I mean? That's how it is. So a lot of it was in Japanese, but they did have the English subtitles.
Chinese.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Chinese.
I'm thinking of anime. I'm on an anime spree, so that's why I'm like. Bleh. But anyway, and the thing is that's awesome about it is I love the uniqueness of the gameplay.
Yeah.
The gameplay was
it's
awesome.
Unlike any other sort of beat 'em up game that I've ever played.
Exactly.
Because instead of just mashing square or doing combos or whatever, take for instance God of War, you do square, square, triangle, triangle, X, whatever, that'll be a combo. But in this game, you've got three basic elements of control. You've got the right stick, which is your attacks.
Yep, the right analog stick.
Yeah, the right analog stick.
Which you flick to attack people.
Yeah, you flick in a specific direction and you punch or kick in that direction, which is if you guys have ever heard of a game with that kind of control scheme, hit us up because I've never
seen one. And I mean, I remember you flick it to punch and you hold it to do heavy punches, you leave it up. So that was really cool. They had the adrenaline button.
The adrenaline attacks, yeah.
And I remember
those are crazy. That's why, you just hype up your adrenaline. You just go cha cha cha, and you just fuck fools up. It's so great.
And they had the counter button.
Yeah, there was the counter button. That was the grab button. Yeah, the grab button.
Which was the third control too, right? It was
you can grab people that you used to block. You can grab people. You can counter using both bumpers at the same time, L1 and R1. Mm-hmm. And it was just a very very simple but very unique control scheme, and that lent itself really really well to the sort of style that this game was going for, which was that kung fu movie style thing, where it's you've got just a squad of people just squatted around you, and you can flick it in any direction, punch this guy, punch that guy behind you, punch this other guy.
You know what I mean? And the feel was awesome. And they also, granted, this game was actually kind of a hybrid game because they also had shooting scenes where you walked around and you had to shoot people. They had hospital scenes. They had night scenes where you had to sneak around and not get caught.
There was one really really cool little part where you were running and you saw Kit through the scope of a sniper rifle. And the guy's like, good night. And you would have to take cover behind something before he shot you. Yeah. That kind of thing. And dude, let's talk about that hospital level.
Oh my god.
That hospital level, probably the most directly inspired by those classic Hong Kong kung fu movies.
Exactly. Straight out of the movie.
Yeah, straight out of the movies. An awesome awesome shooting section where instead of pistols, which is all you had up to that point, you have Uzis.
Yup.
And so you're just rampaging through a hospital, just blowing away triads with these Uzis.
And then there's that
point,
one
the
scene
one point where you're on the stretcher going down the hallway.
and you're laying on a stretcher, rolling down the hallway.
Yeah, shooting
and you're
fire
just shooting
extinguishers.
people through windows and walls, and they open doors. You just unload on everybody. Unlimited ammo. You stop for like a couple seconds to reload, and it was just amazing.
You don't even need, dude. You don't even reload in that game.
You don't reload?
No, you don't reload.
There's no reloading.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's just unlimited.
And then they have the adrenaline. Wait, so in Jet Li, when in the fighting sequences, when you hit the adrenaline, everything your combo speed up and you're super fast.
Yeah.
But when you have guns, it slows
section,
down like Matrix style, and
it's a slow motion action dive.
So it's like that whole is just great, man. That game was so amazing. From the cutscenes to the point where it's like
it was a pretty interesting story, right?
Yeah, the story was good. There were funny scenes.
Like it wasn't like Oscar worthy or anything, but I mean, it's a video game, but also it's enough to get you through the game, right? Like it's enough to be compelling. The villains were all unique and interesting. Like there was
definitely
that drunk ass like bartender guy who you fight in the bar level. There's that asshole guy who brought out the scythe.
Yeah,
you remember
there was the guy in the motorcycle where like the whole motorcycle gang part of the triads attacked you in the mall parking lot. So like. There was those big guys, those super huge guys when you're in the elevator. Yeah, when you're in the elevator.
The huge guys in the elevator. Yeah.
So like that game, I mean, I just feel like the dynamic was so it was so good, and it literally was like
it's lightning in a bottle.
It was kung fu.
It's just a special little game.
It was a classic kung fu movie put into a video game, and I mean, it stayed so true to its form, which is like amazing in my opinion. I mean, I feel like at the time in 2004 when it came to like a Chinese action fighting game, there couldn't have been anything better than probably Jet Li Rise to Honor. And I think that game is highly, highly underrated. And if you guys can get your hands on that game, definitely play that
Highly
game.
recommended. Part of the PS2 Greatest Hits collection for a reason.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, that's our classic cameo for the week. Shout out to your boy Jet Li. That is an awesome game.
Yeah, the man,
kudos
Jet
to you,
Li.
boy.
You are the man.
I
see no Jackie Chan game that's messing with you.
Right?
Does Jackie Chan have a game?
I'm not aware of one.
I feel like he should. Oh man, I don't see.
Yeah, right. That's like the Jackie Chan makes 80,000 movies per year. You would think there would be a video game thrown in there.
Just
somewhere.
one video game, and he could have been the mocap and everything. Because he does his own stunts. God
Exactly.
forbid someone else be a Jackie Chan mocap.
Yeah, no way Jackie Chan would ever let anybody else do his stunts.
Oh man.
Okay, so moving on to The Truth with Truth.
Oh,
that
man.
is the explanation of a fundamental truth of our world, mainly gaming, on the macro or micro scale, explained in depth, analyzed in depth by our good friend Truth over here. And today we are going to be talking about DLC culture in games, specifically in the realm of fighting games, using the example of Injustice 2, which was just released as a sort of baseboard.
Oh,
so,
yes.
You have any gripes you want to air with that?
Let me tell you something. I think that this whole DLC thing has been taken to a whole new level of just like ridiculousness. It really has. There's no better way to explain it. Now, is DLC bad? Absolutely not. I love DLC. I love DLC for all games. I remember when Halo 3, I think the first time I ever really heard about DLC was with Halo when they were releasing new maps. And I was like, what?
Yeah, there you go. That was the first big thing. Was like there was expansion packs for older games like on the PC or whatever.
Yeah.
Sims expansion packs, Roller Coaster Tycoon expansion packs. But
I remember
mainstream DLC was popularized when map packs started coming out for Call of Duty, Halo, stuff like that.
And I remember when it was so old, I had to go to the store and buy a disc to download the maps. Yes, wow. I put the disc in the Xbox to download it, and that's all it did. It didn't do anything else. It downloaded the maps. Crazy. And then after that, I had the maps. So like, I've been on the DLC wave for a long time. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, there's history here. And my thing is like, I've just seen it evolve to the point where it's like, okay, you get this game now, you get a pre-order bonus. Pre-order bonuses are cool. Okay, you get this game now, you get the first DLC pack for free. Okay, and when it comes to shooters and games like that, I love DLC. Keep doing it. You know what I mean? Keep adding expansions.
Yeah,
because shooters are so generic and the maps become so easily to memorize because nowadays, like, God forbid you have a huge map, with the attention span again. If it's too big, no one likes it. and people love smaller maps, and I hate small maps. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the game you got. Call of Duty definitely better suited for a smaller map, whereas something like Battlefield, those maps are huge.
Those maps are like insanely huge.
Far fewer of them, but they're massive.
Exactly. So you know what I mean? Like, to each his own. But when it comes to fighting games, this whole DLC extra character nonsense has got to stop. And it doesn't have to stop as a sense of like stop releasing extra characters. Because no, we want extra characters. We want that.
Absolutely. That's what
but I feel like when it comes to Injustice, they have this whole DLC roster down packed. And the only reason why I know why is because
in that initial trailer, you saw the silhouettes of all the DLC characters right off the bat, right?
Why? So why do I have to wait for them? Yes, you saw everyone. We know, we have a feeling Raiden's gonna get released.
Yeah,
we have a feeling, Black Manta's gonna get released because their silhouettes are as soon as Injustice dropped, the day Injustice came out, the trailer for the first DLC was already there. Yeah. The trailer came out the same, and it's like,
and that I think is like the fundamental point that we want to get down to, and a lot of I know a lot of people are down with this DLC culture, which is it's okay, but a lot of gamers, their main gripe with this DLC culture is finish the damn game and then start working on the DLC.
That's what I'm saying.
There are certain examples that you can follow that have done this really, really well. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, for example.
Perfect.
They're like, okay, we know one person who's going to be DLC right from the jump. Like, that was Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they knew Mewtwo was going to be in the game eventually.
Yeah.
Right? But all they released at the beginning, and I'm pretty sure it was also after the game came out, was just that still image.
Yeah.
No gameplay, no nothing like that. They started working on the characters after the game came out.
Exactly.
And also, I'm not sure if this is as good of an example, but Fallout 4. Fallout 4 had a season pass, which is a whole nother thing that we can get into at some other point, season passes and that culture and what that does to the industry. But Fallout 4, had the season pass, but they didn't start working on the expansions until after the game came out.
Yeah.
Which is the best way to do it. Like, it's just like, make a complete game and then worry about the expansions, And have people have a solid, if it's buggy, that's one thing, but have people have a solid, complete experience when the game comes out.
Exactly.
And then start working on your DLCs.
And my biggest thing is, the problem is with fighting games is, as the game goes on, people start to realize, okay, this character's way too OP. And people are like, okay, this character's broken. And, all right, this character's, way too much. And they have the ability to fix that early. But what would they rather do? They'd rather focus on DLC and stuff. And I get it. You guys got to sell. You got to keep the game going. And I know that, with Mortal Kombat, what they did was they released it, and they knew that they had characters coming out, but they didn't know exactly who. And they knew they had guest characters coming out, and they didn't exactly know who. Or maybe they did.
Warner Bros. Is super shady
especially Ed Boon. Ed Boon, I mean, look, man, I've been tweeting at you and you don't tweet back at me. It's all good. No love lost, bro.
Who's Ed Boon?
Ed Boon is a creator of Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
And he is heavily invested in Mortal Kombat to this day. Mm-hmm. He goes to, the EVO tournaments. He's always trolling people. Ed Boon, literally, you follow him on Twitter. He literally, he's annoying. He plays with too many of the people. And I tweet at Ed Boon all the time, and I'm telling him, I'm like, look, man, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't tweet back at me. It's whatever. He tweets back at someone that has way less followers than me and way more. Whatever. I don't care. No love lost, Ed Boon. No love lost.
Show some love for your boy Truth over here.
That's what I'm saying. But, bro, when I'm telling you, I would rather, you know what I would rather do? I would rather buy a game, right? Go back old school style and unlock some of these characters.
Yeah, and that's something that's lost as well. I didn't even think of that. It's there's
why
don't
we unlock anyone anymore? You know why I love Smash Bros? Even though it's beyond simple now, every day you do, a new challenger has arrived. You beat this guy, you get him. That was awesome. The best part about playing, you want to know why fighting game campaigns were so important? Because as you played, you unlocked people.
Characters,
You know what I mean? And let's talk about that DLC. Mortal Kombat X came out. In the campaign, you fight Baraka. You fight Rain, you fight Frost, and none of these characters are playable in the game.
Yeah, that always
Why were they not
unlockables?
Man. Why were these people not playable characters? Why did we not? But we released Alien, a guest character, in the guest character pack, and we give him a Baraka fighting set. I just feel like it's I don't know. I didn't appreciate that just because it was I would rather have a character like Frost who hasn't been in a lot of Mortal Kombat before I would have Alien.
This is addressed directly to Ed Boon. Why the fuck did you not hire us to help you with your DLC for this? Because literally all you had to do was take those 3 characters that were already in the game, already playable, because people modded the game and made them playable. All you had to do was just throw them in another DLC pack, the Classic pack.
And it would have been perfect. And
you would have gotten more money. What is the problem
And they
here?
could have released classic skins with each of the characters because Frost has been there for a long time. Rain was literally one of the like classic characters, inspired by Prince, who had died. So people would have been like, Rain, like let's go. Prince died. Let's drop Rain. Perfect.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Straight up, just make him like give him a Prince skin.
Exactly. Yeah. People would have ate it up.
Purple
you know what
Rain,
I'm saying?
man.
Exactly. And then on top of that, like Baraka
was in. Yeah, he's a veteran. He's been in this.
Baraka is a veteran, and people, Baraka gets a lot of shit for being Baraka. But I used to
ugly motherfucker that he is.
I used to crush with Baraka coming to the end of my Mortal Kombat 2012 career, the regular Mortal Kombat for the 360.
Mortal Kombat 9.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 9. I was going in with Baraka at a certain time, and I feel like, come on, Baraka's been there since Mortal Kombat 2. You couldn't get 3 variations for Baraka. I feel like there's no excuse. There is no excuse, in my opinion. Like, put Baraka in Injustice just because you messed up so bad. Put him in there. Get rid of Raiden.
God.
Give me Baraka.
Dude,
like
Sub-Zero is already so out of place in Injustice. Can you imagine how out of place Baraka would be in
that would have been hilarious. They would have been
like, what would Batman say to Baraka?
Your face. And then Baraka would have been like,
do you require medical attention?
Yeah, and Baraka would have been like, do you require medical attention? His claw would have shut out. That would have been awesome. You know what I mean? But I was just like, I was truly disappointed about that because when I fought against Frost in the campaign, I was like, I can't wait till they drop Frost. I waited. You know what I mean? I waited. I saw, they had all these people out. Then Mortal Kombat XL drops, and you're like, all right, this is everything put together. And I'm like, wow, no Frost.
Yeah, right?
I was like, I was thoroughly surprised. You know what I mean? And it's like, I feel like I see a lot of Frost's movesets in Injustice 2. Like, a lot of her move, because one thing that Frost did, and Sub-Zero does too, in some games, is Frost freezes the floor more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, like, I see with Firestorm, he has this move where he shoots the floor, and then he enhances it, and you kind of, like, melt into the floor with lava. Okay. And I'm like, all right, that could have definitely been done with Ice and Frost. You know what I mean? Yeah, because, like, and I see it. Like, I'm watching it, and I'm like, this is literally like, Frost could have did this. Frost could have did that.
I think out of those 3 characters that got shafted in Mortal Kombat X, which one do you think would be the best suited to Injustice? I think I'm having trouble deciding between Rain and Frost.
I wouldn't say Rain just because, actually, I would say Rain because Rain has this one move, which I loved in Mortal Kombat 9. I loved it. Where he kind of steps back and he kicks you and you fly off screen and then you come back on the other side of the map. I thought that was hilarious because
Pac-Man shit right
it's
there.
Like a spoof because like you see like Scorpion disappears, it comes from the back. Supergirl has a move where she flies away and comes from the back. Yeah. No other character has a move where it's like I kick the shit out of you and you come back the other. No other character has that. So it's like that is like it would be kind of cool to have Rain in Injustice 2, even though we know he would never be there. And I think his moveset was awesome. You know what I mean? He has the rain ball where he shoots at you and you're getting trapped in like a bottle of water. You know what I mean? He has this one move where like he shoots the floor with water and he flies up. Like he's just so cool to watch. And he has this like stupid ass move where he literally shoots water, he spritz it in your face, and it's like it's just like really, dude.
It's just like a spray gun for a
cat. Literally just with his hat. So I mean, with his hand, not his hat.
Yeah.
So I think that like that is like kind of upsetting. And I love how for Injustice 2, I love how they do the guest characters because I think it's cool that they kind of mix in the DC realm with Mortal Kombat, and because it's cool to be like you could have like a Mortal Kombat versus DC remake come out like eventually, and it might be one of those things.
It's a good idea. Injustice versus Mortal Kombat.
You know what I'm saying? Because the character,
you listening to Ed Boon?
Ed Boon.
Are you listening?
Ed, are you listening to this podcast? Ed Boon, fast forward to the end of this podcast.
Everybody tweet this shit at Ed Boon.
Everybody tag Ed Boon in this podcast and let this man know I've been tweeting at him. I'm gonna tweet this at him. He's not gonna respond. I know it. I literally know because like I've been tweeting at this man for years. Ed Boon, hire me. Literally, hire me, bro. Take me to NetherRealm Studios. Let me sell you millions. We are gonna be. You're already rich. Let me get rich with you. I love the game. I have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. You want to troll people? I'll troll with you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, this is awesome.
Because I remember they had the DC versus Mortal Kombat thing. and it didn't flop, but it was just like there. They have the ability.
Was that a game?
Mortal Kombat vs. DCU was a game.
What? Oh yeah,
it was
that's
a
right.
game.
It was.
And what they did was they had the rage and there was no fatalities or heroic brutalities, and the fatalities you didn't see because it was rated teen. Whatever. Let's be real. If they remade this game now with the Injustice background and you have Mortal Kombat, take half of each roster. Make a game out of it.
There you go.
You take the main, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Raiden, 5 right there. You got Batman, Superman, give me Wonder Woman, the Flash, and the Justice League. Literally the Justice League, and give me the 5 main Mortal Kombat characters. Put it into a story. Shao Kahn links up with Darkseid, and they're like, you know what?
Man.
Let's take over the world through Mortal Kombat tournaments, and Darkseid wants to rule it. Come on.
Ed Boon.
Ed! Come on, Ed Boon. You gotta hire me, bro. You see what I'm doing right now? Yo, DC, Warner Brothers, you need another... Come on, I'll make comic books, Warner Brothers. You can hire me, too. But that's what I'm saying. I feel like Injustice is selling so well. Mortal Kombat already sells. It's a classic. Let's redo this game. They tried it. It was too early when they tried it. It was too early and too undeveloped.
Yeah, before its time.
You know what I mean?
We're in, like, the golden age of comic book entertainment, so, like, DC versus Mortal Kombat would sell fucking gangbusters.
That would be the best. When I tell you E3 2018, DC versus Injustice 2. Let's see it.
Warner Bros. Could have its own press conference if they're not going to announce that. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like, that game would be crazy. And I mean, I don't know. I just feel like, but when it comes to DLCs, you guys got to stop that. You guys got to stop releasing 6, 7, 8 characters months after the games come out. And I know why they do it, because, fighting games are so, unappreciated nowadays. They need to make the people that already appreciate...
They don't have a very long shelf life.
They need the people that already buy the games. They need you to keep investing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why buy the $60... Excuse me. Why buy the $60 edition and then spend $35 on a season pass when you can spend $100 and get everything included with a couple extra bonus skins? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, that's the central debate that it comes down to with the DLC. It's like, well, if you don't want these shady DLC practices, then you're gonna have to pay more for the game outright. Yeah. Because games their budgets are so high and so much goes into them that the $60 price point that we've been used to since the PS2 or PS3 era,
I would say
I forget
PS2.
which. It's too low.
Yeah.
It really is too low. I don't even think that's like a subjective thing that you could argue. Like, I'm pretty sure like if there were no other ways to monetize, there were no season passes, there were no this, that, the other thing, the games wouldn't make a profit.
Yeah,
I agree. They really wouldn't. And I get that, but I feel there's got to be a way to do it that's not this.
Would you spend $100 for a game?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Right? Like, no one would, and that's why we need this. That's why this DLC culture exists. Okay. And it's there's really no easy way out of it, but there's got to be something,
Yeah, I agree. I just think that the biggest thing is maybe if they took half of that DLC roster and gave me 3 unlockables where I had to do epic things to get, maybe I would be I'm not mad at that, because while I'm waiting for these characters to drop, I can spend time unlocking these characters. Because me, I haven't played the Injustice 2 campaign yet. Haven't played it yet. The game's been out for about 4 or 5 weeks now.
Stay tuned to ASG.
Stay tuned. We're going to have a Let's Play together. I haven't played the Injustice campaign. I don't know what happens at the end. I know Brainiac's you get 1 unlockable. I'm sorry. Oh, Ed Boon, I didn't give you credit. There's 1 unlockable character, and it's Brainiac. Who's the Shao Kahn of Injustice, by the way. Cheap as hell.
In MKX, it was Shinnok, right?
Yeah, in MKX, it was Shinnok. And it's these characters are... First of all, I could talk about Brainiac for years. Cheapest motherfucker you'll ever fight in your life. But anyway, the people complain that my Scarecrow, they're like, oh, all of his attacks are mid-screen. Yeah, you haven't fought a Brainiac because his fucking tentacles can grab you from damn near anywhere. But whatever. We'll talk about that another day. OP, can't wait till you guys fix him in an update. But yeah, dude, give me...
OP must nerf next patch.
That's what I'm saying. Give me unlock a character to level 20 and you unlock this character. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They could have did that in Injustice 2. Get a level 20 character and you get him. And now, granted, you get the guys who literally buy everything, who could have just bought source crystals and hyped their guy up to level 20 and got a free unlockable with it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, but give me something to play for.
We're gonna do a Truth with Mander episode, and I'm gonna go to hell on microtransactions.
Yeah,
because fuck microtransactions.
I'm telling you, and oh man, I co-sign that 100%.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. The fact that where that's my thing. Where's the skill? Where is the skill?
Yep.
Where's the
dedication, man?
Me and my boys used to stay up for months trying to unlock recon armor on Halo 3 because, like, first of all, it took Halo forever to make that available to the public, and then when they did, like, me and my boys stayed up for months trying to get recon armor because, like, it's all about the reward.
Yeah.
If I could have bought a recon helmet for $3, I would have. No, actually, I wouldn't have. Actually, no, I would have at the time. I would have, and it's ridiculous that I could have. Because then it's like, you didn't earn that.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Paid
You
for
just
it.
bought it.
With your mom's credit card. That's not even your money. These are 12-year-old kids who have access to their mother's credit card who just buy. And it's like, games want to make money. They make money off of microtransactions.
Yep.
And they know they do that. So if you can make money off that, I don't understand, like, the point of why we can't get some of these characters through unlockables. Like, I really don't.
That's a very good point.
Like, it's just, it's really upsetting. I think that, like, it's cool that we can unlock, like, in Injustice 2, we can unlock, like, skins and stuff, like, armor abilities, like that. That's completely cool. Whoop-de-doo. My guy looks like, you wouldn't know how different my guy looks half the time because, like, it's so unnoticeable.
Yeah.
Give me new characters. Red Tornado. Let me unlock Red Tornado. You know what I'm saying? Let him fight like Fujin. This is what... Ed Boon. Hire me, bro. I bet you wasn't even thinking of that.
Okay. I'm pretty sure we're out of time for this episode.
Oh,
It's been a while. Wow, it's an hour-long episode. But, okay.
Hey, it's the first episode. Season premiere is always an hour.
There you go. We're going to tweet this shit at Ed Boon. You guys can follow us. We're both on Instagram. I'm at TheMightyMander on Instagram. That's Mander. This is your boy at Truth the Equalizer on Instagram, dropping mad Instagram verses.
Oh yeah,
he's a very talented rapper. And follow us both on YouTube. My channel is TheMightyMander, Mander, and his some of his tracks go up on Aqua Society.
Oh yeah.
And this is obviously going to go up on Aqua Society Gaming.
ASG.
Keep it tuned to ASG. If you want to see more content, we'll have more coming out shortly.
We're going to be releasing the podcast solely, probably on the SoundCloud soon. So if you guys are just like there for the podcast, you can probably check us out on SoundCloud. But definitely come to the YouTube because the YouTube's going to have everything. We're going to have podcasts, Twitch streams, live streams, montages. You got Mander with the Let's Plays and the breakdowns and the analyzing. So, like, definitely subscribe, thumbs up. Everybody tag Ed Boon in the comments. Let this man know that I need a job at NetherRealm Studios. I'll take an application. I'm about to graduate college. I'm taking Mander with me. I don't mind working for NetherRealm. Do you?
No.
So,
I don't mind at all. I would love that.
Ed Boon, you bastard. I hope you see this one. I'm telling you, this is probably the one that you need to see. So that's all I got to say about that.
All right, catch you guys next time. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Deuce.